Dear notable person, my name is Lorraine. I write to you today to tell you I've had the fun with people who think that just because I'm 86.11 years old, I become an unuseful adult without curiosities, dynamic activities, and current interests. It occurs to me that many people have the notion that at a certain age, one sinks into a hole of nothingness and becomes one more burden on society. It seems those who reach the honor of elder in our culture become invisible. I am writing to say that the stereotypes surrounding my age group are ridiculous, and it's time the veil of lies was lifted. Allow me to educate you and illustrate how preposterous the biggest stereotypes surrounding seniors are.
Well, I'm Don Carmichael, and this is Cheryl Moore, my wife, and we've been married now for 13 years. I'm 83.
And I'm 60.
Shirley Cannot. I'm a 94-year-old gal, and I come from Alberta.
Hi, my name is Dora Stewart.
I'm Maxine Cherwanick, and I'm a very busy person. I love it. My life is busy, and that way your head and your brain are sharp. I am 83 going 84.
Rondo Brown, and I'm 79 years old.
I'm Rose Luby,
And I'm Lauren Luby,
73.
77.
Elma Lorraine Robinson, but I always go by Lorraine. I am 86.11 years old.
False.
Not at all. I think that's false.
No, that's not true. It's, you're always accepting the challenge. I mean, life is a challenge. That's the way I look at it. And I enjoy life. I love life.
That's false. I say it's false.
Not as far as I'm concerned.
To some degree, yes.
Only if it's electronic.
The depth of adaptation, I'm sure, varies, but you just don't stop adapting. Life calls on us to adapt.
Well, I can't hunt like I used to many years ago. That was my forte. I loved to hunt and fish. Now I can't even get out of a canoe without people helping me up and getting out of there. So, yeah, there's physical problems.
Bullshit. I think that's the answer to living, is to be able to adapt. It's not easy. I mean, there's lots of things I like, go skiing or whatever, but it's attitude. That's how I feel.
All
wake up each day and it's like, okay, it's like I'll go out and do whatever I need to do. Because of some of the organizations I'm involved with, I mean, I can get a call at any time saying, can you come and do this or can you go and do that? And it's like, you do it. What's interesting is when we do things, like we took the grandkids to the H2O in Kelowna and they got all the slides, so I was racing up there to go, down the slides with them. And I was surprised at the amount of kids, and even one mother who said, how old are you? And I kind of said, well, why? She said, well, because you're going down the slides. And then I go, so I told her, and she goes, aren't you a little old for that? And I thought,
watch my husband, he's right behind me.
So I said, my husband's 24 years older and he's going down them. So I think sometimes when you're out and about and doing things or even learning something new, even some of the instructors, they seem to think that if you're old, you might not be able to do it. So.
I don't think that's true.
Well, I don't think so. You're as productive as you want to be. You could just sit at home and stare at the TV all day. Well, that's nothing productive. And it doesn't keep your brain in very good shape. You're not challenged.
Wrong.
Wrong. We're very busy.
I won't say it again, but that's ridiculous. Bullshit again. Maybe I should rephrase that and say BS, and you know what I'm talking about.
False.
Well, I wouldn't want to say that to all the people that we drive around or take to appointments or help with their shopping, or my grandkids when we're taking them out every day to do something, because they definitely wouldn't agree with that.
I think age is a state of mind. It really is. If you think up here that you're young and you feel that you're young, you are young. I mean, nobody can tell me that I'm 83. I don't feel 83. As far as I'm concerned, up here, I'm not 83, and I can go on probably if I live, I can probably go on into my 90s doing things. But age is definitely a state of mind.
No matter what Google says.
Yeah.
We still run our own business.
Yeah.
We're very, very active in that, and we have. I work as an archaeologist in the summertime. I also sit on hiring board, and we have a lot of meetings and things that we go to in the community. And with a family as big as ours, there's always something happening that you can keep active in.
And we had 4 children, 3 girls and 1 boy.
Then we have 12 grandkids and 5 great-grandkids and 2 more great-grandchildren on the way. So we've been very blessed.
I'm Ken Durson. I'm an ambassador at Kelowna International Airport. My age is 76. I've been doing this for 20 years. What we do is assist people in the airport, passengers, their families. What we do is give them a proper experience, a positive experience. That's what we do. We assist with wheelchairs, assist the airlines, we assist all the airport tenants, whatever they need in the airport. But we are volunteers. There's 110 of us altogether at the airport.
My name is Dave Scruton. I am currently the president of West Kelowna Community Policing. I have been volunteering with the group for a little over 7 years, and retired since 2010. So it's a great way for me to try and get back to my community and help keep it a little bit safer, I hope.
My name is Brian Jameson, and I joined the same time as Dave in December 2011, so that's a little over 7 years as well. Right now I'm both secretary and treasurer of the community policing, but we all contribute in patrols and speed watch, traffic watch, that sort of thing.
Average age of the West Kelowna Community Policing volunteers we'd estimate at around 70. almost all of our members are retired. I tend to think it's the entire opposite of the reality. Most of the volunteers, as we've discussed, volunteer for more than one organization. Often our spouses do likewise. We have the time. We are honored to be able to do it, especially in our communities. We also, personally, I think you need to keep two things active in your retirement. One is your brain, one is your body. One without the other doesn't work well. So you need to keep functioning and doing something meaningful. And this is a great way to do it. It feels like the years are actually flying by twice as fast as when we were working, because we do what we want to do rather than what we have to do to earn a living and pay for our families and so on.
But we have fun too. We get a lot of satisfaction out of it.
Yes.
A lot of camaraderie, that sort of thing.
You still get some time to play golf.
Yeah, or boat.
Yeah, or boating.
No, not necessarily.
No, I don't think so.
I think more skeptical than gullible.
In some things, I think we're gullible to our children as they get older. In some senses, they tell us things that we accept, which we shouldn't, because we have a trust in them. But sometimes that trusting them too much is being gullible, I think. Because then you find out that you were wrong. So I think we are a bit gullible at our age, especially to people we really care for, we really love.
I don't know if I like the word gullible.
Yeah.
I like to think the best of everybody, and I don't think that's necessarily being gullible. It's just I choose to try and look at life and people as a good thing, not a bad thing, until I learn otherwise. But once I learn it, then that's it. So I don't know if I'd call that gullible.
False. And it's false because it's boring only if you allow it to be boring, because you do have some management of your affairs and how you live.
No, absolutely not. Well, I guess it's the type of person you are, because none of my days are ever boring. Absolutely not, even if it's just going to Walmart. But I meet people, chat with people. You don't have to know somebody. If you have a smile on your face and just say to somebody, gee, you're looking great today, or, you know, people like to feel good about themselves.
True. Now we have to classify that. The reason I say that is true is there are some people that I say are boring, and the older they get, the more boring they get.
Got that right. No, I don't know. Some are. Just young people are boring too, you know. That's, I think it's what you are and how you grow up, and you can be boring when you're young or boring when you're old.
Aging is fun. I find it fun because I make it fun. And I look for things that I can do, that I want to do. I think that's the part, is being able to, well, there's lots of things involved there, but as much as I can, what I want, when I want. In the morning, I think, oh my God, I didn't have to get up and be somewhere at 9, like that.
Well, it's definitely not boring. I think when you first retire, the first year or so, it's boring until
But you didn't know me.
That's true. If you retire at my age and get mixed up with a woman like Cheryl, you never know what's going to happen. It's exciting every day. Whether it's good or bad, it's still exciting. But it's definitely not boring. It's what you make of it. I mean, I see people that get old and they just sit around and do nothing. And if they sit around and do nothing and never get out and never go to any place, then it's going to be boring for them. But otherwise, it's not.
When you're young, you got to do what your parents tell you to do, or you don't do what they tell you that you can't do. And then when you start work, you have a boss that tells you what you can and can't do, and then you have kids who like to tell you what they think you can and can't do. And I think this is the absolute best time of my life.
No, we've embraced it, the aging process.
And you're having fun?
Yes.
Yes, we think nothing of getting in the car and when we can and going and seeing. We have grandchildren that live in Edmonton, and we've been to we've done road trips to the States for going to gambling locations, right? So that's a passion that we like to do as much as we can afford. And but the traveling part is fantastic. And we've gone to the Grand Canyon and by car and got to explore that, which was very nice.
Our family is what keeps us young, is trying to keep up with them. For example, we went to the corral that Saturday night as usual, and 3 of our grandchildren showed up there, and they looked beautiful. They were all dressed to the nines, and they were on their best behavior.
And our daughter.
Huh?
And our daughter.
And our daughter, yes. And I had a great time dancing with them and everything, because they don't really know how to dance. And so the one granddaughter, the next day, I chatted with her for a few minutes, and she says, "Grandpa, how do you manage to dance all night like that?" She says, "I couldn't even keep up with you." And I thought, well, you can if you try, But they had a great time. They quite enjoyed the evening with us old folks,
It's the first time I think that they had 3 generations in their club at one time.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a like a tip of the hat, like.
Most of the patrons at the corral are familiar with us because we've been going there for forever, and they all treat us with a bit of, well, don't bump into those old people because they might not survive,
Yes. Yeah, so we've been going there 2 nights a week for 34 years, so it's been really nice.
It's really hard to remember because I've done so many things, and a lot of them were travel by van. I did 30 years of that, and so I've been to every highway in BC and many others too, like going east as far as Brandon, Manitoba, south as far as Mexico, and north. I've been to Alaska, and I started a trip. It's more than one day, of course, but I started Highway 1 at the coast from Lund and completed it down at the Mexican border. So I've been that route. One of the greatest trips was going around the world with a tour company because everything was planned, and that was great because all you do is pay your money and they have all the tickets or whatever you need for wherever you go. And it was amazing to be in Dubai, for heaven's sakes. I mean, fly out of Toronto, you think you're never going to get there, but you do. And then after being there for 5 days, we got on board with a cruise ship and sailed down the west coast of India, down to Singapore. And from Singapore, we got on the bus and spent 5 days going through Malaysia. Came back to Singapore and flew to Beijing and spent 5 days in Beijing. So it's just amazing. I just love even telling somebody because it makes me feel good.
I would say that's not true. That's okay to say that?
No. It has nothing to do with your libido being old or young. You either got it or you haven't.
Well, there's no men hanging outside my door, but men die earlier than women. No, I don't think so.
No, don't erase your libido, no. No. No, it doesn't.
Well, yeah. But hey, I'm just not interested anymore. Just not. Well, hell, I got married when I was 77 to a guy who was 79. We eloped in the park at Bear Creek Park under a tree and then told our kids. But, you know, I know all the feelings are there, but I don't feel like using them anymore.
I wouldn't say it erases it, it changes it so that your partner is another part of you rather than, you know, having the violent preamble before you go to bed at night. It's more, good night, dear, you know, sort of thing. But I wouldn't say it erases it, it changes it.
Well, I don't think it erases your libido, but it sure slows it down.
Not mine. Yours, maybe.
You're not old yet.
No. No, I'm actually. I think it's way better. It was way better after we hit 50 than before, so, you know.
That's because she met me. She should say after 47, dear.
No, not for me. I can only speak from my own experience.
I would say it can be. And if that starts, like sometimes I think, well, what if I die in the middle of the night? Well, number one, how am I going to know anyway? But like I would just have that kind of feeling that I don't like that idea. But so I don't stay there because that could drag a person down.
Yeah, in some ways it is, but not really. I mean, it's depressing to me when like I said earlier, when I drop my keys or something, or I want to do something, I go to do it and I can't do it because I don't have the strength that I had last year to do this. Maybe taking off a cap off the bottle or something, or you know, something small. The small things aggravate you much more than the big things. The big things, they'll take care of themselves or you work them out. But it's the little things that happen on a daily basis, like dropping a dish or dropping your keys.
I don't think that has anything to do with age.
that's false.
I don't think so.
Well, I never was sufficiently creative, in the sense that I've always felt that in many attempts I've made to pursue a hobby or something, I never produced anything that was worth saving. And so, shucks, why can't I do what? Anyway, it's either there or it isn't.
Oh, I don't think so. I think it makes you more creative. You have to be creative because the things you couldn't do, you have to create a way to do them.
There we go. Yes. Yeah. You have to think out of the box sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. We're always attempting new things in our lives try to keep pace with the younger people. But we're always open to new suggestions in our lives. Like our children, they keep us on the mark. They don't let us become stagnant.
Again, I don't believe that because I know I'm more creative in my life. And I think having the opportunity with the computer is reaching out around the world and being in touch with other women. It's just totally amazing, exciting.
We certainly probably slow up and can't think of words to finish our thought. I'm sure that's happening to us, and it happens to people at various ages.
No. You're either smart or you're either dumb. And it doesn't matter what age you are.
False. Yeah, I believe you're smarter as you get older.
Well, the society progresses, and being old, sometimes we're not aware of how it's progressing, with electronics for one thing, and that type of thing. So in some respects, we're naive about the computers and all of that, because where we come from, we did everything by hand. If you wanted to talk to somebody, you went and seen them or whatever, eh? And so in some respects, we're a little bit naive about the electronics industry. We have trouble with computers and that, but we still work them as much as we can. So.
Well, that is ridiculous. Getting old makes you smart. If you want to sit there and not change anything, not change your mind, I mean, there's lots of things that at one point I wouldn't even dream of, like saying bullshit in public. But no, you have to be able to change your mind.
Oh, the value in grandkids and great-grandkids. For myself, if I had to do it all over again, I would have had 8 children or more, because the grandkids and great-grandkids, there's nothing that can compare to that in life. The value is just so wonderful. You have to experience it. And for me, I walk with my grandkids. I jog with them. We try to keep things going all the time. We bake together. Grandma at present time is the one that, Grandma, I forgot my books this morning. Can you bring them to school? Or my gym strip's on my bed. Can you bring it, please? So I've been very active with the grandkids. And when my grandkids were between the ages of birth and 6 going to school, I took care of them because the daughters were working. And my daughters a few years ago, for Mother's Day, I gave them a little card that explained to them the things I'd experienced with their children as they were growing up. And I look around at Mother's Day and they're all sitting crying at this little booklet I gave them. And I says, what's wrong? Because it broke my heart to see them crying. They says, oh my, we've missed all these firsts of our children. And I says, no, you haven't. I says, I've just given it back to you. I says, so you haven't missed them like other people do, right? And I think there's a big value in that as well, you know, of keeping that connection with the family.
Well, it's got two sides, I guess. Being older, it's almost like being on a mountain and looking over like my family, and you know, it's like being apart, away from. And I was thinking today or yesterday, whatever the time is, and I think as a mother, it's not a good part, but it's like grieving your family when you die. Of course, you aren't even going to know about that, but it's like, I miss them already, but I'm not going to be here. And of course, everybody's busy in their own lives and very busy, and I'm happy about that. Sometimes I wish there was an hour for me, but guaranteed annual income. Small as it is, it's guaranteed in our society. And I think the realization that you don't have to do everything, and that you've made this, if you could have made a bigger contribution, you would have. There's nothing magical about looking back, and perhaps just to summarize what you maybe stood for and your philosophic outlook. But I think realizing that you've done as best you can, and if you could have done more, you would have. So get over it.
I think you're really comfortable with your life. You know, you still have challenges, but it's not the same as when you're young. You're more relaxed. I guess that's a better way of putting it. You just say, oh well, let's see what happens today, you know?
Oh, you can retire. You can play a lot more. You can do a lot more things that you wanted to do when you were younger. You're usually too busy doing work and looking after the family. And when you get older, you have grandchildren, which is fantastic. We can fill them up with candy and everything and send them home and let them drive their parents crazy. And we can do those sort of things.
And sometimes being a little bit older gives you a few perks in life that you would never experience unless you were a certain age. When the production team found out about Rondo's love of fire trucks and that he had never been on one, they decided to make his dream come true.
How was it? It was excellent. Yeah. It was fun? Dream come true. Yeah.
Let it be noted, dear notable person, that we would not be doing this if we could not offer some words of wisdom.
To young people, if they didn't have their electronic devices, I think just social interaction. Children, it's tough for them for when they're meeting a new person. They don't know how to say, "How are you? What do you do?" The other kid says, "Well, I play all day," you know. You can see that in public. You can really see that their lack of social skills is deterring them from advancing in life unless it's electronically.
Learn how to read an analog clock, and also learn to print and write. That's the three things as far as I can see. If that was taught in the schools today, they're going to be a lot smarter.
We always had lots of discussions about this in our family. We were raised 5 children, my husband and I, and we talked about advice and direction, and our general take was not to prejudge young people, because we really don't have the equipment or authority to do that. I guess we always urge them to feel that they have a contribution to make and should make it. That's what that's what a lifetime is about, is to contribute to the social fabric, to improve life in an ongoing way and not to destroy it. And hence, I think that's why young people today have grasped the importance of protecting the environment, even ahead of a previous generation.
Always accept a challenge. Happily, not griping about it. Because a lot of people take challenges and they're, you know, why is this happening to me? And I always say, you're going to learn something out of this. Even at my age, I'm still learning. I'll probably be learning as they're putting me in the ground, you know. Hey, I don't want to go here.
Go out and just explore life to the best of your ability while you have the health to do it. I think so many people, even me included, I mean, I had a chance to do things when I was younger that I didn't, and so I'm starting to do some of them now, but just to enjoy it, just enjoy life.
I would say that the most important thing in their life is 2 things. Number one, don't pick a job for the money. Pick a job that you like. It's going to keep you content and happy and in good shape if you like it. But if you have to go to work every day drudgingly, saying, ugh, yeah, so you're making $45 an hour or something, but you hate your job, you won't be happy. You won't be happy. So take a job that's going to make you happy, even if it's for less money. Eventually, if you really love it, you'll get up there to making some good money. And naturally, meeting Cheryl has really changed my life. I mean, who thinks you're going to get married again at 70? You know, and here I am, and I don't feel 70. I don't feel 70 now, though. I'm 84. I feel like I'm maybe 60. But like her age, she's squeezing my hand here to tell me to be quiet.
Stop saying no and look around you. The world is there. It's just wonderful. But you stop being afraid. And if you are afraid, you're done. So I think it's just be open. Look around, but people stop looking. Maybe they stop caring, I don't know. When one is of advanced age, it is important to stand up and speak loudly. Life ain't over till it's over. Here's to your long and creative life, dear notable person. May you continue to change the old moniker to a new vision of Wisdom Keeper, of which there is a plethora of elders awaiting questions. The living libraries. Look around. You are next. Creatively eldering forward. Lorraine, an artist of life.
It's been a long ride. It's been a nice night with you for now. With you for now. I drag this cat, I worry and pain across my eyes as I look deep into my soul. Child, don't cry. Well, I can't get enough of you, and at the same time I'm tired. Yeah, I can't get enough of you. I don't know why. It's been a long ride. It's been a nice night with you for now. With you for now. I'm working myself to the bone just to find your actions. Well, I don't know where we went wrong, but I'm addicted to your passion. So don't tell me, yeah, don't tell me. So don't tell me that I won. It's been a long ride. It's been a